Hello, welcome. It's Francis here. Thank you for coming back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I bid thee welcome. There is a subscribe button below if you would like to help support this channel by subscribing. Also a bell to be notified as to when I upload more content. I'm coming to you from Ghana country, and as such, I acknowledge the Ghana people of the Adelaide Plains as being the traditional custodians of the lands upon which I reside. So next Friday, which is the 11th of July, here in Adelaide, South Australia, at 6:06 a.m., and that's South Australian time, we will be having a full moon in 18 degrees 50 minutes, say 19 degrees of Capricorn. This could be taking place on Thursday the 10th, depending on where you are in the world. So when there's a full moon, this means that the moon and the sun are directly opposite each other in the sky, which means, of course, that the sun is at, let's say, 19 degrees of Cancer. So we're looking at Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign that the moon will be in, and it's an astrological sign that relates to our responsibilities, commitments. It's also about assessing what we need to work through, especially for the remainder of this year, and looking at what is actually worth our time and effort that we're putting into, and whether there are any modifications or corrections that need to take place. So with Sol, the sun, shining all its light on Lady Luna, this could in fact be lighting up what basically you truly want, the goals that, particularly from a soul perspective, you're desiring to pursue. And this is also because Capricorn works or operates on a higher perspective than the lower level, sort of mundane aspects of a lot of the other signs. The light of the moon could also be bringing into your conscious awareness things that have come to fruition that need to be closed out or completed. So cast your mind back to, say, November, December last year. I think it was December, when we had a new moon in Capricorn. And that was around about 9 degrees, 10 degrees. And what seeds, what thoughts were planted then, and have they come to manifestation now? So if you have a copy of your birth chart or your natal chart, you may also like to look to see what house Capricorn falls in. So we're looking at 19 degrees of Capricorn, because this could also give you a bit of a deeper insight as to what area in your life maybe you should be focusing on. Capricorn, of course, is the sea goat. It's sort of a mythical creature that is half fish, half goat. And as I said, it operates from a higher perspective. So it's able to merge out from the watery depths, and is also connected with the logical mind. And as such, it channels the wisdom from both areas. In order to sort of achieve this effectively, however, we need to get out of our mind, get over all this head stuff, all the limiting beliefs, the perceptions that we are so familiar with, and look at what's beyond the familiar. And Molly McCord gives a really good analogy, I think we call it an analogy, in relation to this. She says it's like being on top of a mountain and then having a look at what's around you. And there you can see your past, the future direction that you're heading into, but also other alternative perspectives as well, all these other potentials. As I've mentioned, highlighting the moon as the sun at, say, 19 degrees of Cancer. And the sun is in relation to our inner world. So the Cancer is all about emotions, family, our home, personal environments. So another layer to this full moon is what you are putting out in the world, and how is this being balanced with your home, with your downtime, with relaxation, spending time and connecting with those nearest and dearest to you, people who truly matter. Maybe there are some expectations of others that, or expectations of others, or even of your own self, that needs to also be addressed. So this is about sort of coming back to being a little bit more true to your own self. Another astrologer that I follow, Pam Gregory, makes an interesting observance in that this full moon is at the conjunction point that Saturn and Pluto were in 2020 on the 12th of January. So they're within the degree angles of this conjunction point. And of course, that was the commencement of the COVID pandemic. Saturn is the planetary ruler of Capricorn, so hence the link. And what we experience through there, we experience a lot of external authority and discipline, which is Capricorn, coupled with the restrictions and new structures, Saturn. And now the moon is shining a light on that point again. What have we learned in the last 5 years or so from them, especially around, say, balancing authority, both external as well as our own internal authority, stepping into our own sovereignty, our own power. And of course, all these things, when we sort of step into our own sort of power and sovereignty, comes with a degree of responsibility, self-responsibility, not putting the expectation or the responsibility always on other people or governments or society, but taking personal responsibility ourselves, taking ownership more and more. So how is that working out for you? It is also interesting to note that we are currently under the energetics of a Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And these two planets are actually at what's called the creator degree, the early degree points of Aries, 1 and 2 degrees of Aries. And again, this is encouraging us to step into our truest sovereignty, our truest power. And this conjunction is actually being enhanced with Jupiter, which is being squared to, and Jupiter is at 7 degrees of Cancer, which is all about our future direction, expanding everything. And all of this is being highlighted by this upcoming full moon. As I said, Saturn is the planetary ruler of Capricorn. It's therefore is the planetary ruler of this full moon. So this means that there is an underlying emphasis on structures. In particular, what new structures are we creating that are in better alignment with this new future everybody's talking about, that will then enable us the opportunity to create a new future, bring new things into our lives. Another aspect of this full moon is that it's making a very beneficial sextile to the North Node, which is all about the future direction, and is at 21 degrees, 23 minutes of Pisces. So it is giving us also the sort of sense of what we're needing to let go in order to move forward, what has been like too much, too heavy, even too stressful for us. It's asking us to consider what will be beneficial for the long term. And of course, the North Node is strictly opposite the South Node, which is all about our karmic past. That means that the full moon is trining the South Node at 21 degrees, 23 minutes of Virgo, highlighting what needs to be completed in our lives, what needs to be surrendered or addressed or fixed once and for all. So there is this theme of building, letting go, thinking for the long term. And these things are going to continue right through this month, especially as Mars, which is already in Virgo, approaches the South Node. And it'll be doing that towards the end of the month, around about 20th to the 23rd of July. So again, consider what is not worth your time and effort. What is not bringing you the results that you seek, that you're after? and what needs to be closed out of your life, especially as you go about your day-to-day life. Bear in mind, however, that Mars may be bringing up a degree of frustration and even anger associated with these things simply because they are not working out and you're not getting the results that you wanted to receive, especially in this physical world. So why continue? And there is this sort of manifesting physical aspect to it because both Virgo and Capricorn are earth signs. So breathe, surrender, let go, and then you can focus on what is working in your life. It's almost like you're flogging a dead horse. So coming back to Saturn, that's at 1 degree, 55 minutes of Aries, say 2 degrees, conjunct with Neptune. It's going to be stationing retrograde a few days, after this full moon on the 13th of July. So this means when the planets, they don't actually go backwards, but from our point in the Earth, it looks like it's going backwards. When these outer planets in particular retrograde, that means that we're closer to them, or they're closer to us in their orbit cycle. So Saturn will be asking us to check into what we are starting, what we're beginning in this new chapter in our life, or about structures and foundations. There's this emphasis on planning, on making appropriate preparations, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And this, however, could be a little bit challenging because of Neptune. Neptune represents the unknown. And it sort of likes to just do things because, hey, why not? But the Saturn retrograde is going to show us what needs to be taken care of, which could mean that you might need to be a little bit more flexible. Especially as things sort of come up. This is Neptune that we're not expecting. And also there is this need to bring things into more of an alignment behind the scenes, so to speak. So not everything will be out in our conscious physical self. There'll be a lot of sort of working behind the scenes. So again, we need to be patient and wait for the correct timing. And it's quite interesting because Saturn is also known as the Lord of Karma. So in this retrograde cycle that it will be in, it may also cause us to redress, reconsider decisions or issues from last year, from the end of December, November even, because these issues may be resurfacing for us. It will also provide us with the opportunity to see how far we have grown in that time, whether we have moved through these karmic lessons and what we have actually learned. When we take responsibility for our mistakes, how brave a face do we present? Or when we bravely face the challenges instead of hiding from them or ignoring them, hoping that they would go away. When we face our challenges and our mistakes head on, we're able to extract a deeper wisdom that will also be supported during the peak of this cardinal lunar cycle. And Saturn is not the only planet retrograding. By the end of the month, we're going to have Mercury, Neptune, and Chiron, the winged healer, all offering clarity as to what is closing out, what we're moving away from. And again, Molly McCord mentions that this change is needed because we are all undergoing deep changes. Our sense of purpose in life could be changing. A new focus could be calling us. So we need to rearrange things in our lives to ensure that we are in alignment with these changes. And humans by nature don't like change. So again, we are being encouraged to do this. And finally, for the first time in 84 years, Uranus is going to be entering Gemini, or has entered Gemini. So it's at 0 degrees, 9 minutes at this full moon. And this is connected with a degree of excitement and changes, and it's fast-moving solutions and information and communications. Another good reason to practice meditation or breath work, dropping into your heart space. Go for grounding walks in nature, especially if you find yourself getting a little bit overwhelmed or even too disconnected with what is happening energetically. So there are a lot of sort of energies brewing, especially with these outer planets in the early degree points of their respective signs. So at this Capricorn full moon, it is reminding us that now is the time to address our responsibilities, not to take shortcuts or ignore things, not to go burying our heads into the sand. We need to take care of things now. We need to step into our own sovereignty, to stand up and take ownership. We are, after all part of the global collectiveness. And so we are all basically connected. We need to also, however, be mindful that full moons are always powerful times to release and let go of all that sort of heaviness so that we are able to embrace the path ahead. And when we let go of that heaviness, we are able to step into the new direction with more power and energy. So that's the wrap up for the full moon. If you are in Adelaide, the full moon gathering will be happening on Thursday. I always do it the evening before the full moon. So that's on the 10th of July at Largs Bay. We start at 7 p.m. So get there early. And I'll put the link below if you would like to join us, what to bring, etc., etc. If you've got nothing to do it's next Sunday, the 13th of July, I am offering another online live streamed workshop through the College of Psychic Studies in London. I think it's at 10:30 a.m. London time. It goes for 3 hours, and this course is on strengthening your intuition. We will be covering a lot about the clear senses, as well as sort of working with our intuition, especially in this day and age where there is so many distractions, and also all the wild energies around us, how we can sort of open ourselves, be more intuitive, trust our intuition, yet not being open where we pick up on all the, loose energies flying around. So I'll put those links below. So that's on the Sunday, the 13th of July. It will be recorded. So if the times do not work out for you, that's okay. You will get a copy of the video. So you can watch that as often as you like. I think that is all. Also that weekend of the 12th and the 13th. Again, if you're in Adelaide, come down to Harts Mill at Port Adelaide. I have a market, Le Noir Creations, and more information of that can be found below as well. So a big full moon that's going to be in Capricorn. That's going to be sort of testing our foundations. But again, if we are stepping into the new, as planetary alignments are definitely encouraging us to, we need to make sure that we are in alignment with this new direction from a deeper soul level. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, or any other comments about this video. Also check out Molly McCord and also Pam Gregory's videos. They are listed below. They are the astrologers. I am not. And take care. I will see you later. Blessings.